Hey guys, we're going to simplify these fractions. Like it or not, fractions are kind of a big deal in math, and knowing how to simplify them, I would say, is pretty crucial. All right, just like with all things in math, there's usually more than one way to do things. So I'm going to show you how I would simplify these. If you think of a different way that you would simplify them, do it. Make sure we get the same answer. That's one of the beautiful things about math. So when I look at this 12/16, sorry, not 16ths, 12/60ths, the first thing I would notice would be, well, it needs to be simplified, right? And I would notice that they're both even. So I would divide the top and the bottom both by 2, which would give me 6/30. Well, from there, I would notice that these are still both even, so I can divide by 2 again on top and bottom, which would give me 3/15. As long as I divide the same on top and bottom, my fraction stays equal to itself, right? 3/15 and 12/60 are the same fraction. If I had a pizza, I cut it into 60 pieces, I get 12 pieces. That would be the same as a pizza cut into 15 pieces and I get 3. That was a lot to say. Hopefully it made sense. So from here, I would notice I'm not quite simplified because 3 goes into both of these. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3, and I end up with 1/5, or 1/5. Okay, there's the first one. All right, 60/100ths. If I were to see this fraction, the first thing I would notice is they can both be divided by 10, right? Which knocks off those zeros on the back and gives me 6/10. From there, I would notice those are both even, so I can divide the top and the bottom by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. If you find I'm going too fast, you're like, whoa, lady, slow it down. I'm going to link a video for in the corner where I go through some similar problems more slowly, okay? All right, this one, the first thing I would notice, again, is, well, these are both even. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 2 and end up with 6/18. And then I'm like, well, those are still both even, so I can divide the top and the bottom by 2. And end up with 3/9. And then I notice 3 goes into both of those numbers. So I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 3 and get 1/3. Okay, look at that. All right, last one, 16/20ths. Again, I'm like, oh, those are both even, so I'm going to cut them both in half, divide the top and the bottom by 2. I end up with 8/10. And both of those are still even, so I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 2. And I end up with 4/5. Okay, so basically the principle here is breaking it down. Now, if you find the biggest number that goes into both of them and divide that first, guess what? That's the only time you have to divide. Me personally, I like to break it down. It's just easier for my brain personally. Now, it may not always be a 2, right? If both your numbers aren't even, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's fully simplified, right? Because if I had 25/35, those aren't both even, but I could divide the top and the bottom both by 5, right? So find a number you know goes into both of them and start to break it down until it can't be broken down anymore. All right, I hope this made sense. Thanks.